Hello, welcome to my kitchen. I don't actually know what day, I know what day it is. I don't know what episode this is because I am filming them all at the same time because I'm in a bit of a time crunch to get like 75% of the costume done in the next 2 days. So today is Dagger Day is all I'm gonna say, or at least like the start of Dagger Day. I really want to get at least like the final form done. If you didn't know, I have already made this dagger before. I have it right here. This is the Game of Thrones one. I literally was just going to use this exact dagger and just repaint it and do like a couple touch-ups until I looked at the new one more closely, trying to figure out what the High Valyrian on the blade is. And it's different. So if you look at it there compared to here, you can see the differences. The good thing is I already have this and I'm going to make it basically the same way. The only thing that I can't recreate is the handle. The handle was made, actually I don't remember what the material is, but it's like a type of polyurethane used for like mass production mold making. My dad used to work on making the molds for like the fake rock walls that are all made of concrete. So one day he like randomly brought me home a couple pieces of this. I no longer have it. I used it all, I believe, on this and when I made needle. So I will instead be making this out of, I'm gonna put a like wood dowel, a paintbrush handle basically in it, and then I'm going to mold around it with what I made the blade out of, which is like sturdy but has like a slight bend to it, which is actually Werbla pie. I haven't seen anyone use this technique in a while. To be fair, I haven't been back in the game for very long, but I actually tried to look up Werbla pie on TikTok and got nothing. I only got regular pies. So this is like a 5-year-old technique. There's probably better ones, but this is what I know how to do. And I actually had some scraps left over from the blade that I was doing tests on this morning. So basically what you do is you take plastic pellets, like these like thermoplastic pellets, and flour, and you combine them together in an oven and you bake it into, this is scrap, so that's why there's like color on this one. You bake it into a plastic pie. So this was the scraps of the blade that I was like, I wonder if I can just melt these back together as like a base piece. And it worked really well. I don't have enough to do the full blade and it rolled out really thin, but it was really good practice. It was a good test to like figure out what I need to do. So I probably will use this as the base and build on top of it. I'd love another layer of this. Okay, so I did get it long enough and I could actually like cut it and fold it. But the first thing I need to do is I need to redo the pattern. If you didn't know, I'm a bit of a hoarder and I never throw anything away. This is my original pattern for the dagger. So I'm going to transfer this, well, I already have, but I transferred it in 2 pieces onto paper because I am more than likely doing it the same way I did it the first time, where I built this like a very traditional dagger and I did the handle separately and the blade with a tang. I watched a lot of Forged in Fire when I was making this. So the blade inserted into the handle and it glued on. So I think I'm debating doing something similar, but I think what I'm actually gonna end up doing is once I get the new pattern figured out, I'm going to make the blade and attach the wooden dowel, old paintbrush handle, into the blade and then mold the handle around it. And then another thing about this stuff is you can't really sand it. It just melts if you use a sander that's too hot. So I need to mold it all while it's hot and like work that out. And then you can see I have like, it's not pristine and perfect, but this was like probably the first prop that I ever made. I'm actually going to use what I used on the 3D printed piece on this as well. And I'm gonna use that Bondo. Yeah, I'm gonna work on the new patterns and probably get this all cut down into size and start layering so that we can start shaping. And I think I should be able to just like use my heat gun for a lot of the like intricate shaping But initially, to get it all formed together, you have to put it in the oven. But I'll explain all of that when it's time for it. This is gonna be like my favorite portion. There's good news and there's bad news. Actually, there's just bad news. I just broke my tripod. Okay, we're going back to the old ways of doing this. Let me bust out some tape and a pile of books. The new tripod's not coming in time. I do believe I have all of the patterns that I need. What I do need to do is just take these and just make note of where like the paintbrush is gonna go through it, if that makes sense. So probably like that. So that's just like my straight grain, basically. Okay. So I'm going to probably honestly trace another pattern of the blade and then cut that out so that we can trace it onto our Werbla pie situation and start building on this. And yeah, because I think I can cut this in half, heat them together, flatten them back out, all the good stuff. Okay, I have the double layers in the parchment paper. I got it a little bit too hot. Well, it's a good heat to like get it all formed together. but it's so hot. I have to let it cool a little bit in order to get the parchment paper off. Yeah. Also, this stuff sticks to everything. You can just straight take the pellets and drop them in water, in like hot water, and they melt into the plastic. But I like the Werbla pie better because working this stuff is so difficult because it's so sticky. The base of the blade looks good. I like the thickness. I like all of it. There's a few spots where the pie bubbled up in the oven because it got a little too hot and it's very wavy. So I also need to thin this edge. So I think I'm going to transfer over the other markings that need to go on here and like do that. And then I also got this line in for where the wooden dowel needs to go. And then I will start working on building up the handle piece around the wood. So basically I'm just gonna melt all of my scraps together again, because this was all scraps. I have this kind of awkwardly, it's not super, well, it's, okay, it is awkward, but I have it very flat, and then I have the blade piece all traced out So I need to figure out how I'm gonna transfer this onto here so that I can start thinning. Yeah. And then I'm gonna be using my heat gun, probably on the floor somewhere right around here because I don't want it to warp my cutting mat. Yeah. I've got a good, okay, wow. I've got a good shape going. I'm gonna let it fully dry and then I think I wanna bulk it on the sides because it is very like flat still. And then I also am going to bulk this up a little bit. And I think also like right in here. I definitely just want it a little rounder than flatter, if you feel me. But I was kind of just like heating it and then pinching the spirals into it, which I've just noticed how uneven it is right there. And I'm gonna fix that real quick. Because my tripod broke, this is really difficult, but I've placed 2 pieces of Worbla over top of the blade. Because I felt that was easier to get some angles, and then I will fill everything with the Bondo, like all crackies, and then same here. But first I need to attach this. I'm gonna do, well actually, okay, I think I'm going to I'm gonna do all the fills and stuff on the handle, except for this part. And then I will place this over top of that because I want this to be like really smooth and nice because it's supposed to be obsidian. So I have both, okay, well, there you go. I have this first side almost done. I think I'm gonna add some little details there. And then I have the first layer of Bondo on. I'm really hoping it stuck because it didn't feel like it was going to. So I'm gonna try sanding that and get this going again. I think I'm fairly happy with how this is looking. We'll see. I went ahead and just one night after work, I got a first coat of gold on. I definitely need to still get like down in those places, but this is all stuff that can be touched up. Oh, there's actually quite a bit that needs to touch up. But what I am gonna do is I'm going to tape this off and spray the blade. And then once that, I'm gonna let that dry for 24 hours. And then I want to just fully clear coat it. So I'm actually using this paper tape, but it's called console tape. It's paper, but it's not like, it's very not sticky. I used it on the blade and it worked wonderfully. I'm just gonna tear it into smaller strips though. Cool. Time to spray. Ta-da! So, I'm gonna go about this pretty much the exact same way we did the other parts, except this is not quite as pretty as I had hoped. But you know what? All around looks good. So, we need our acrylic wash in black. Maybe the tester's gold. Not sure yet. All right. And I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna let that dry and then come back to do the other side. So this side of the handle is the one that is, I have done 2 coats of the black acrylic wash on. This side has 1 coat, so I'm going to coat the other side and also just paint the handle black for now, and then we'll see what I want to do with it the rest of the time. Probably just, you know, one of these type beats. But also I know that the Angelus gets really like dark, but I think I'm just gonna go in with this straight acrylic paint. Yeah, and just be real careful where it goes. And then once that is all done, I think I'm gonna clear coat it again. And then we're gonna start doing the Valyrian that is on the dagger. I think I wanna do at least one side and kind of have it as like a reveal that one side has the Valyrian and one side doesn't. Okay, long time no talk. This video especially, I think it's like almost been a month, but it's 100 degrees outside. I'm literally packing this up to go today. So I hope to God it's finished. This is what our dagger looks like on one side and then the other. I don't know if I actually talked about it, but I did use a different silver paint along the edge to try to make it look more defined. What else did I do? I put the gems on. I painted them with fingernail polish. I think I took videos of that. I think this is all finished. Nice, nice. Looks good, feels good, has a nice weight. It's decently balanced. It is a nice size for my hand, which is what I designed it for. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm not the happiest with these pieces, but I mean, the paint on these actually looks pretty good. I wish I would have done like multiple layers of Worbla and built it upon this so that it's not so like, you know, but otherwise it looks good, especially for being literally solely acrylic wash. And like the Valyrian could have been better. I got a Cricut secondhand like 2 weeks ago, but I literally just got the mats because all I got was the machine. So I just got the printing mats and I didn't have time to figure out how to cut these. I literally even got the vinyl for it, but didn't get around to doing. I was gonna do these out of vinyl next time. When we do this, we'll give this a little update, but yeah, that is it on the dagger. That's it. I need to go edit that video now. There's a dress, there's a wig, crown's over there. Gonna put them in a car to drive literally today in probably like 2 hours. So I hope it's done.